We used three programs in combination to create this virtual reality design project. The first one is a 3D design application called Sketchup, which students use to create their areas by building original shapes and also by curating objects that are downloaded from the 3D warehouse. The second program we used is a program called Camtasia Studio, and this is a video editing program. You could use any number of video editors to accomplish what we did, but this one seemed to work pretty well with our GreenScreen. And the last program we used, of course, is a program called Unity, which is a video game design engine. And Unity has some presets that we've downloaded, including the Steam VR asset, which connects to the virtual reality headset. We've also downloaded the VR Arc Teleporter, which gives you navigation within the VR app in a way similar to some of the commercial apps available on Steam. And then Universal Chroma Key, which is a shader that takes away the green screen. However, what we found with the Chroma Key software is that it wasn't handling our green screen very well, which is why we're using Camtasia to pre-process that video. Let me show you the whole process from start to finish of how we created our project, including the virtual reality holograms. In SketchUp, once the model is complete, the students will save it. If you're using a newer version of SketchUp, you're going to have to save it as 2015. At least with our version of Unity, that's the latest type of file that it understands, and I'll save that on my desktop as demo, replace the one there. Once you've got your SketchUp model, you can import it into Unity, and then you can take your model from there and of course import it into the project. Now this is pretty straightforward. Anyone that's used Unity before would have no problem doing this. If you wanted to make the walls solid, which we did for most of the models, we'd have to generate colliders so that in VR you can't just go through walls, and I'm going to apply that setting. So what's unique about our project is the green screen life-size holograms, and I'll show you how we did that. So I've got something set up here in Camtasia Studio, and I simply use the crop tool to take out what's not green screen. If we had a larger green screen, that would be nice. But for the moment, we just used a big roll of green paper that I found in the teacher's room. And so once I've eliminated everything but the green, the next step is to take out the green. And under Visual Properties, this app works pretty well, as I said, to eliminate the green. We tweak the settings until it looks about as good as it can. Now the next step here is we export this as an MP4. The camera we shot in was actually shooting in 720p, so we didn't use the highest resolution the camera could do because I was concerned about the processing power needed to handle these videos within VR. Let's save this, call it Green Demo, and we'll put that onto the desktop.
My name is Seth Corson, and this project was created by the students of J.P. Case Middle School in Flemington, New Jersey.
The next step here, let's take Green Demo and let's bring it into Unity, and we're just going to drop that in where it is here. And then the one of the things about the newest version of Unity that we're using, 5.6.1, is that they've now incorporated a new type of way of handling video. However, we've worked the past year to create code for the old way of handling video, and so I'm going to tell it we need to use movie texture, and eventually our code's going to need to be updated, but for now we're going to go with the old format in which Unity actually converts the video into its own format. Okay, so now that it's done that, let's go back to my assets for a second. So I've created these hologram screens that it's essentially a flat cube, a flattened cube, and the collider is set so that only that center section of it is going to register when you're using VR. Like when you're using the controllers, you'll be able to go right through these outer sections, and that's because for our widescreen format video, we're actually only using the very center area of it. And take the green screen video and drop it on there. And if you were to watch this right now, it would still have the black background. So what we need to add onto this is we need to tell it that the shader is our chroma key shader, which is set up to remove a color from the video, and we're going to tell it that the color we want to remove is black, and now you can see that's gone transparent. And then these, this is in I believe French. I just tweak these. Usually 0.5 and 0.005 works, and then depending on the video, I have to put this number up or down. But you can't see any video here yet until you hit play, and I'm going to hold my VR headset up to it.
And this project was created by the students of JP Case Middle School.
Okay, so now that it's played once, you can see the video has appeared now in Unity, and here you can tweak the settings. Let's get this out of the way. All right, let's just get this whole thing out of the way. Here you can tweak the settings to make, depending how it goes, you can see there half my face has disappeared, but 0.005 usually works. A little bit tweak up or down works pretty well, and that is how we incorporated the transparent video effect. And then finally, the code that makes this run within the VR app, as you saw, it activates when you approach an object. I'm going to open up another scene because the demo scene I've been working with here actually wasn't set up as a virtual reality scene. So let's just open up the art scene, let's say. So here, this scene has the VR player example, and essentially what we did was the screens are set up, the student hologram screens are set up to be a trigger, and also they're set up with different code that is depending on if we want the holograms to play automatically or not. We've got code. This one is going to play automatically without sound, so that it at least appears on the texture, and then it'll play as you approach it with the proximity play code. And so an example of this code, here's one that plays, that actually does both. So this particular function will play it automatically when the level loads, and then as you approach that collider, the movie texture will play, and as you leave that collider, it will stop. And in this version of it, it will restart each time you go, and it's doing that by the stop function is going to basically restart it to the beginning when you hit play. However, for some of the longer speeches, like if you wanted to pause when you go away, we've also created a function where it pauses instead of stopping, and that code to restart it isn't there. So depending on what the hologram wants, there's different code that you can implement, and this is all original code that I've written, but the gist of it is as you approach, and to make it so that the trigger, so that actually there's something to collide with the screen, what I did was on the VR player, on the head, and I believe on one of the eyes, the eye. Aha, there it is. There's my little cube. So there's an invisible cube collider that is essentially attached to the eye, so that as you move the headset towards one of the holograms, it registers, activates, and plays.